my name is Tally. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be going and doing some winter themed makeup. Last year I did a whole Christmas series where I went through throughout Christmas Day to Christmas morning, and then something a little bit in between Christmas morning and then a Christmas dinner type makeup look that was a little bit more of a soft full glam. And this year I want to do something a little bit more out there and unwearable, just like I did for my fall makeup tutorial. I want to do something just a little bit more artistic and creative, and not something that you would necessarily just go out and wear to the grocery store or something like that. So without further ado, let's get into it. Makeup look is also going to be a little less Christmas based. Last year for my winter look, I did something that was very Christmassy. This year I want to do something that is, more winter, frosty, icy, ice winter queen type of a situation. So if you want more of a Christmas makeup look, feel free to check out what I did last year, because this is going to be just more winter based. And then maybe next year we can go back and redo something for Christmas. Because I'd love to see let's try something a little different than what I did last year. Here, I should probably have these bad boys in my hair. Alrighty, so I have my grippy primer on. Next I'm going to prime my eyes, because I can't go without eyeshadow primer. It's just not doable for me. And then I like to take a little face setting powder and set the primer. I just find that the eyeshadow goes on more smoothly. So I'm going to be pulling all of my wonderful blue eyeshadows and purples, because we want to look frosty, so a little frostbitten. So the first thing I'm going to take is this. This probably looks really close to my skin color on camera, but it's a pale kind of purpley pink. It's got some purple in it because it comes off very kind of cool toned, at least in person. If you're like me and you have eyebrows and eyes that are kind of closely set together, I do like to kind of keep this end a little shorter and then tweeze it up just slightly to try to give myself a little bit more real estate around here. It doesn't always work, but whatever. I don't think it gives me a lot of room, but more than what I normally would have had if my eyebrows were going down all the way down to here. Actually, maybe I want to do a little taupe eyeshadow. It's by Whim in this Bloom palette. And just get this in here first. Into the crease and then lightly winning it out. It's not incredibly noticeable. But when you're doing really colorful, kind of more advanced makeup, layers and blending is your friend. Cool tone brown is just so difficult. I do have this. I also got this in an Ipsy package. And this is Fleur de Cue What's Up Beauty Eye and Cheek palette. Kind of thinking that that might help us deepen the crease even more. We don't want it to be warm. Nothing warm. Go through all your eyeshadows and pull anything that is more on the cool tone side, because we're doing an icy, frosty winter makeup look. So we don't want anything that's too incredibly warm. Now I think we can add that light blue. Can also do a cut crease. I just find cut creases like a sensory nightmare. I hate how they feel. Taking this brush and this is from that whimsical bloom palette. This is the name Bliss. And I'm just gonna tap, 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 and do like we are doing a cut crease without adding the concealer. Because again, I find that just a horrific nightmare. But you'll definitely get the blues if you add a base to be more blue. And even better if you use instead of like a skin color or a white base, if you use a blue base, it will be even bluer. And then I think for the outer portion of my eye, I'm going to go in with this bad boy. There's no names to these, so not quite as fun, but it's a very kind of, reminds me of like denim, a denim blue. And just going to deepen the outer half of my eye and go into my crease. For me, because I've hooded eyes, that's my eye socket. But if you don't have hooded eyes, put it in your crease. I'm not going to do too much with the lower lash line because we haven't done our base yet, so we're going to do that afterwards. I'm thinking of going in with this nice little icy blue to put on top of the lighter blue that we did. So that light blue is really acting as a base so that this icy blue shows up a little bit more. I like to use my fingers, even though my fingers are a little dirty from, man, are they stained. They mouth is stained. That's crazy. But this is a starlight and it's a very like true icy blue. Focusing it more in the inner corner and then letting it kind of get a little sparser as it goes out. I have some white graphic eyeliner that I really want to incorporate in. Maybe we can draw like some snowflakes. I think I need to move on to the base before we do anything like that. For the base, I'm just going to use my e.l.f. Halo Glow. I think looking glowy, dewy will go well with a icy makeup look instead of using just a more matte base. And then a little setting spray. And then I pat in. I never understood people like drenching their sponges in setting spray and then patting it in, because I feel like 99% of the setting spray is just staying in that sponge and you're wasting the product when it gets better. Just spray your face, get the sponge damp with some water, and then pat, pat, pat. Because of all the blues, we're definitely going to need to do some color correcting under the eyes, because we want to look icy, but not like, you know, there's something wrong with us. And we're going for icy, not, we don't, because with the blues and the purples, you're gonna end up looking like you got punched in the face. At least I can with my complexion. I have to watch out for that. And then I'm going to be using a bit of this. I got this for the summer sunscreen makeup, where everything was sunscreen based. Every single makeup product I used had sunscreen in it. And this is like they call it a mineral sunscreen eye cream, but it has some concealing, color correcting properties to it, but it's more of my summer shade, so we're going to be really light with it. Now I'm going to apply a little clear mascara slash eyebrow gel. It's both. My eyebrows grow in like very different directions from either side, and it can be annoying to get them to look like they're somewhat similar. Once I feel like it's dry from a mascara perspective, then I'll go in and curl. They have to be dry. If it's not dry, you're going to rip out all your eyelashes. So while we're waiting, I'm going to move on to the lips. I'm going to be using the e.l.f. lip stains. I thought long and hard about like what an icy queen, would do for lips. I think I figured it out. So first I'm going to go in with this. This is the basic beige. And I love this for like an everyday lip color. I'd love it. Like, I think if I were to do lip blushing, I think I'd do this. And I always like to go a little outside of the line on the very bottom, and then on my cupid's bow. Like you've eaten, and then tap it. It's like you've eaten a popsicle, Just like that. We're going to let that sit and develop, and then we'll wipe it off, and we'll have a little layering effect, but I want this to really develop, so it's got to sit for at least like 5 minutes. And my light just turned off. Don't be dead. You can't be dead. Better not be dead. Turn it back on. We'll see if it turns itself back off again. I don't know if it just timed out. Nope. Hopefully everything looks good and similar. Through all that fiasco, I think everything's dry enough. And I can curl. I have eyelashes that they're not straight. They like point straight down a hill. So, and they don't want to hold a curl. Hence why I do the clear mascara first. You could probably do a white primer, but I find that the primers can kind of like be difficult to cover all that white. You have to be really precise with the mascara. Probably need to invest in one that dries more clear. I think I'm going to layer, so we're going to do multiple mascaras and really get our eyelashes out there. You could also just put on falsies, but I've always been so bad at that. I'm going to go in with that taupe shade from the Whimsical Bloom palette. It's called Whim. And then from this palette, that same cool tone, taupey pink shade. Focus that more on the outer half. I think I'm going to go in with a white eyeliner first. There's a icy blue. This is from LA Colors, and it's like, when I got in the store, I swear in the store it looked really silver, so I thought I was like getting like a silver. When I got home, I was like, this is blue. But the white is going to act more like a primer for waterline. So that way things show up a little bit more. Shows up a little bluer. If you don't want it to be blue, you can just stick with the white. That will still give us kind of an iciness. If you want to kind of deepen the lash line with a little dark blue, you can. Just do a little on the top. doing just teeny weeny baby wing. And then we have this white graphic eyeliner that I got from Miss A. I have a whole, we're going to be trying out a whole face of Miss A and all of that later on, of doing a kind of underneath the blue and going up. We're just going to do a very interesting graphic liner moment. Again, I wanted to do something more unwearable. That's definitely where this is going. Since we already have the white, we might as well go full on white bottom eyelashes. Like we got some snow. This is a primer that is white, not like a white mascara. I said I wasn't going to put any blue on my bottom lash line, but here we are. I think it will just look a little better. I think for the inner corner though, I need to do something, so I'm going to take this by e.l.f. This is their Duochrome Liquid Eyeshadow. This is the shade Envy, I think. Venus Envy. And then I went up into the eyeshadow just ever so slightly. I think we can even put it like on the tips of the mascara. And then just brush it through just a little bit. Just to kind of make it look like some snow got on our eyelashes. For the blush, we want it to look a little cold. So I'm taking some red, putting it on the back of my hand. And then working it into the brush. Using your hand as opposed to a compact can help warm up the product. And then our nose, chin. And then if you decide it's just a little much, you can always take some powder and go over it. Just to tone it down and make it look a little bit more a part of you, so it will look more like I'm freezing and a little flushed, as opposed to that girl put way too much blush on. Okay, and then I also got this from Miss A, and I was thinking it might make it look like we have like little icicles on us. So let's see if like some snow is just kind of sitting on the high point, so putting it where you would naturally highlight. But I want it to not just be like a highlight, I wanted it to be like, oh, it's snow, you know? I don't know if I want to draw actual like snowflakes. I think having more of a, like a gem might be better. I feel like it looks like, you know, we got some like little icy tears going on that dried. And I feel like if I do any more of that, I will go insane. So let's finish off the lips. And I think for a more like cold, bitten like lip effect, we just put it in the on the inside. Like that. Do we want to go like redder? I don't know if that was like red enough. Let's try the berry shade. These elf lip stains aren't like the most pigmented. Let's try the Ulta Beauty one. This is their darker plum shade. And then I have this by, I think it's also LA Colors, LAC. This is their metal lipstick. It's in the lightest shade. In order to, I thought it was going to be silver. This is white. It's very white. But it's going to give frost. It's definitely a frosty lip topper. The Rem Beauty in the shade Chucky. I do think I still want to brighten my under eye a little bit. I think I'm going to take the Buttermelt highlighter. This is the, let me see, what is this called? The Butter in Black. I love this as like an eyeshadow and a lip topper. For me, it doesn't really work too much as a highlighter. It's made for deeper skin tones. When I saw it, I was just like, that is so cool, I have to try that. I think for this look, it will work because the purple is going to kind of give a little frostbitten. Focusing it around the gems so we look kind of extra icy and frostbitten right there. This is definitely a makeup look that I think would need a full Ice Queen costume to help it make sense, because this is definitely unwearable. If I wanted to create something that wasn't wearable for every day going to the grocery store, I definitely achieved that. So I could go out and do a whole like being in the icy snow with my icy makeup. But definitely with the accessories, I'm definitely loving this makeup look a lot more. With my hair like pulled back and no accessories, it was looking a little crazy. Huh, Coco? It was looking crazy. Alright, you'll have to let me know how you think I did with this icy queen, princess, you know, frozen makeup look. Wanted to look very frozen and icy and very much unwearable makeup. Wouldn't go to the grocery store in this. If you want something more wearable, again, check out my Christmas makeup look that I did last year. It will be like somewhere like there or whatever. And because that is definitely a lot more wearable winter makeup look. This year, just like I did with the fall makeup, I wanted to do something that was just unwearable and pushed the balance of my makeup abilities just a little more and out of my comfort zone, and I think I definitely achieved that. I wasn't that crazy about it until I put on the accessories, and then I was like, okay, I'm feeling cute. I liked it a lot more once I got like, you know, dressed up and in character. It just, you know, helps a little bit more feel completed as opposed to crazy doesn't match anything or like what are you doing. This definitely would have been a wearable makeup look with the eye makeup before like I added like the white eyeliner and the gems and the sparkles and that. You could definitely just do the blue eyeshadow and then a frosty lip and get something that is a lot more just wearable for every day. But I hope this was entertaining to watch. You're probably never actually going to do this makeup unless you have like a themed party to do or like a photo shoot, something that is icy that maybe will provide a little bit more inspiration and creativity in, you know, your life. But I definitely like it and I like how it turned out. It was, but at some point once I added the white eyeliner, it was definitely a trust the process moment because I was like, I don't know if I like the white eyeliner. But that's how art and makeup is. You have to trust the process because you always look kind of crazy halfway through and you have to finish it and complete the look for it to look cohesive and a part of the greater picture and whole. That's just how anything that is art-based works. So once again, thank you for watching. I hope you liked it. If you did like it, hit the like button and subscribe if you would like to see more makeup content. Alright, bye!